The night smelled wrong before I could name why. Rain had stopped and left a clean, unnatural silence that pooled like oil in the gutters, and every pane and puddle reflected a sky that seemed to inhale and exhale. I stood under the porch light, feeling the world tipped, a fraction off kilter, as if a room had been rearranged and the door left ajar. The hairs on my arms tightened against a presence I could not yet see. At first, the signs felt domestic. Footprints in the dust that led nowhere, the kitchen clock running a minute slow, a neighbor's dog fixed on an empty corner until its eyes glazed. Later, the subtler things gathered. Metallic aftertaste whenever I opened my mouth, the refrigerator's hum bending into an odd, unnameable cadence, shadows that remembered my name before I did. I started finding little artifacts, not of our making. A smooth, oblong stone that pulsed faintly, a paper-thin membrane that shimmered if you breathed too close, patterns in window condensation that insisted they were letters. Days narrowed, sleep thinned into slivers between waking intervals, where something outside pressed its face to my world. People I spoke with began to adopt phrases I'd never taught them, smiling as if their mouths were full of the same strange syntax. My reflection grew a shade detached, like an actor watching me rehearse. I kept a ledger, a small ritual to impose order. Times, sounds, colors. The ledger swelled with notes I no longer trusted. Entries repeated themselves without my hand, phrases inked by my pen, written in a cadence that belonged to someone else. I began to suspect the ledger of lying. Then the sky tore itself open with a logic I could not parse. One evening, the streetlight filters turned liquid and something enormous folded into the air. No tidy ship as fiction would sell, but a geometry smelling of salt and old metal, an intelligence mapped in contours that made my teeth ache. It did not arrive so much as translate the night into a new language. The world understood it and I did not. My house listened. The objects I had gathered, rearranged into a constellation on the kitchen table, humming a frequency that let me glimpse a lattice of locations, each node a throat opening in other rooms. Eyes blinked across the city, each blink flaring with the same terrible comprehension. What terrifies is not that they came, but that they had been waiting with patience older than calendars, slipping into speech and rearranging memories as if claiming inheritance. I resisted, shut windows, burned pages. Even the silence answers now in their syntax. I closed the ledger, set the objects in the oven and watched them breathe into a plan I could not follow, then locked the door, because that is what you do when a house becomes an argument between species. For tonight, the knocking stopped.